Welcome, baseball fans. Well, that was quite a National League wildcard game. You've got Milwaukee at Washington, Woodruff 11-3, ERA of 3.62 coming into Washington against Max Scherzer 11-7, ERA 2.92. Washington, with their strengths being their starting rotation and the power of their lineup. Obviously, some hitters doing better than others. Rendon up for potential National League MVP. We'll see how that turns out. Versus the Milwaukee Brewers. Obviously, if you take the rotation head-to-head, Washington edges you out. But if you take the bullpen head-to-head, Milwaukee edges you out there. Washington knew where their weaknesses were coming into this game. No question about it. And when you got the table set with back-to-back home runs, one in the first and one in the second off of Scherzer, it looked like Milwaukee's got a 3-0 lead. They're going to walk away with this thing, right? Not so fast. This is why I love baseball, because even when you're down with a 3-0 hole after the second inning against one of the best pitchers in Washington's staff, it's not over till the end of the game. And the end of the finale there in the 8th inning, with Rendon getting that walk and Soto coming through at the end to hit a 3-run line drive into the outfield to give Washington a lead. Wow, that's exciting stuff. That's why I love watching baseball. It was phenomenal. Now, throughout the course of the game, I noticed that there were a lot of players who were new to the postseason, and they made some rookie mistakes. Botched hits into the outfield, misplays in the infield. At the same time, while I made notes of each of those mistakes, I also noticed that during the innings in which they occurred, no damage was done, so it's kind of a wash to talk about. However, I did find it interesting that in the 4th, when Soto botched the center field catch, he's also the guy who comes through in the bottom of the 9th to give them the go-ahead 3-run shot. Now, I thought that fundamentally, with Soto is going that back and forth between third and second base, trying to give the runners more time to get home. I kind of felt like if he just stayed at second base, you'd have 3 runs in, and you still have a guy on. You could score more runs. At the end of the day, you still got a 4-3 win. So it's kind of a wash. Mistakes aside, it was a phenomenal game to watch. If I had to point to any area with which I thought the Milwaukee Brewers possibly could have improved their chances here, honestly, comes all the way to the end of the game. They bring in Nader into the 7th inning. He's their closer. Are you expecting to get 3 innings out of this guy? Because you are in Washington. You bring him into the 7th. He's also got to pitch the 8th. He's also got to pitch the 9th, unless you got somebody else lined up there. You know what I'm saying? And if you have somebody else lined up, why aren't you bringing him in as his pitch count's rising here? Nader goes 30 pitches across the 7th and 8th innings here. And that's a heavy workload for a closer. I get it. He's your best pitcher. I get it. You got a 3-0 lead. But here's the thing. He's also the one who started the 8th inning. He's also the guy who gave up hits, gave up the walk to Rendon, and then proceeded to give up the hit to Soto. His pitch count was climbing. At what point, they did have Lyles warming up at the 28th pitch. Fundamentally, as your closer, if he's starting to give up hits when the game is this close, a 3-1 to 2-run lead, when you got 2 men on, you can't wait till 28th pitch to warm somebody up. He's going to need some time to get ready. And yes, they were putting the Brewers in the best position possible to play defensive game with their substitution of Gambles in the outfield and Corey at second base, and Hader on the mound. Totally got that. They were doing what they thought was best. At the same time, it's just like some managers will leave a pitcher in too long or too short. Here, the Milwaukee kind of left Hader in a little bit too long, and it cost them big. At the same time, wow, Washington really came through in the clutch. And when everyone was screaming MVP for Rendon in the 8th inning, he ends up getting a free pass to first base. And everyone was like passing the baton to Soto. Soto, who hadn't done well all game long, and even had some misplays in the outfield, comes up, works the count, and gets that huge clutch hit. Wow, that's phenomenal. And this is why I love the game. With the Washington lead win 4-3 over the Milwaukee Brewers, we now get to move Washington right along into the division series, where they get to go up against the LA Dodgers, with whom, through most of the season, they were juggernaut in the National League. Now, you've got Washington with the starting rotation that you really, really want. Granted, you had to use Strasburg and Scherzer to get there, but now they're there. And they get tomorrow night off before Thursday's game in LA. So you've got Patrick Corbin, fresh, ready to go. He'll give you a great first game. I have to assume they're going to go with Corbin because they've already used Strasburg and Scherzer to get here, and he's your next best pitcher to come in there and start game 1 against Kershaw. And fundamentally, I think that matchup will probably favor, in game 1, the Washington Nationals, because Kershaw has yet to prove himself in the postseason. He has yet to be the dominant postseason pitcher that he is a dominant regular season pitcher. I think if you got Corbin going in there against Kershaw, the Washington definitely has a fighting chance to get the series started in LA off to a good start. And then, of course, beyond that, you've got, while Strasburg did have a little bit heavy of a pitch count there, because he had an 8-pitch first inning. The second inning was a 15-pitch count. And then beyond that, it kind of started to climb a little bit the longer we stayed in the game. That's okay. He's a starter. He can rebound, and he's got tomorrow off. He's probably got Thursday off. That's going to give him a few days to get ready for his next start. Scherzer, who didn't even go full 6 innings. Now, granted, Scherzer going a typical quality start for starting pitcher, 6 innings, 3 runs or less. Scherzer didn't even go 6 innings. He came out after the fifth inning, I believe it was. Yeah, because Strasburg came into the 6th inning. So he goes 5 innings, gives up 3 runs. Still a decent start, and not a terribly high pitch count. He only went to like 58, 60 pitches. And when he was prepared for 120, you got 2 pitchers who got the job done at the end of the day and didn't have huge pitch counts. They have an excellent opportunity to go into LA and show something there. Granted, it's a tall order, because when you're putting everything on the line just to get there, that definitely puts you at a disadvantage. But that's the beauty of the wild card game, and that's the beauty of having that number 1 seed in the conference, to be able to take on a wild card team that just had to use everything just to get there, while you've been resting and getting ready for the game. But now LA knows who their opponent is, and they can go ahead and start their game prep for Thursday. This has been an absolutely phenomenal wild card game. I am sincerely looking forward to tomorrow's Tampa Bay at Oakland. I thought it was kind of funny how multiple times throughout this game they kept on talking about how Tampa was going to be hosting the Oakland Athletics. Oops. I also noticed how all the commentators before the game all picked Washington to be a hands-on favorite, and it wasn't even exactly a dominant game. It was very much up for grabs the entire game. You had a 2-run lead. A 2-run lead in a wild card game is not that safe. And as Washington proved it, they came through in the clutch and made a phenomenal game out of this. I was watching every nail-biting pitch. It was a great game to watch. I would love to hear what all of you think about what I think. Please leave your comments and instructions below. If you just happen to come across this video while browsing through YouTube, please hit like and subscribe. It greatly helps out the channel. And I look forward to talking to you all again real soon. Have a great night, and thank you for watching.